we do have Miss Venus Parag, CEO of Franglobal, to tell you more about the brand and introduce you with the brand from here. Venus, I would like to welcome you on this panel today. And we are so excited, even the people who are joining in, they're still joining in. They are also very excited and they're joining to know more about the brand and the opportunities they are coming up with in Indian market. So we would want to know more about the brand. Over to you, Venus.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Neha. And good afternoon, everyone, for the people who are joining us from India. And good morning to our brand from Italy. It's morning there. So welcome, everyone. And again, congratulations to the team of 𝐻𝐻 who do this every day, 12 o'clock, launching a new brand and making this, I would imagine, one of the top digital platforms in the world where both the brands and the prospective franchise partners come together to know more about the opportunities. And not just that, but actually meet the brand in real time. So, again, it's great to be part of this team. Now, before I bring 𝐻𝐻𝐻 in, who would really share with us, because there's a lot of history behind the brand and a lot of changes and evolution also about the brand. Let me, quickly just make an introduction about myself and, of course, our company, Franglobal. So I am Venus Parag, and I'm the CEO of Franglobal. Franglobal has been, working in the international franchising arena for over 20 years since the inception of our parent company, Franchise India. And I can proudly say that Franglobal represents, has worked with many brands from all across the world, and me and our team strive to really bring the best concepts from all across the world and connect them with Asia, India, Middle East, and our growth is now multi-markets. And I'm happy to say that we're making progress in that regard every day. Now, a lot has changed as far as the F&B industry is concerned in the last, let's say, 3 to 4 years. There's a quick service food segment, and then there is a casual dining, fine dining. And let me tell you, the growth, quick service, of course, India really represents a very big consumption, middle-class consumer, young consumer population. So quick service would always, draw a lot of attention, a lot of numbers. But something very interesting has happened when I say in the casual dining and the fine dining and experience-oriented concepts. I think the hunger for and the appetite for people to come in and invest their times and monies and of their families, I think has become very important. And today, people not just demand that it's just best food, but best environment. And a brand like Savini, who comes with over 150 years of Italian heritage experience, running very large, very successful restaurants in Italy, Milano, and other parts of Europe, I think really sort of is a differentiator. Because remember, the consumer of India today are smart, they're intelligent, they're very well connected. So most of the quick service is now delivery oriented or takeaway oriented. So when people really are going out, eating out, drinking out, spending time out, their expectations are very high. And mall owners today, real estate developers and owners are looking up, once they have their, their basic criteria. Okay, I've got a pizza, I've got a burger, I've got an ice cream, I've got a juice bar. They need brands, they need concepts which can draw a lot of people from an experience and, of course, quality standpoint. And I think Savini brings it with itself that differentiation. And Italian food as such is we understand Italian food. It has lived with us, at least actively, in last 40 years with us. So and Savini is a brand where you can open it at the top location available. In fact, the mall owners, the developers would open their doors, because in most cases the offering which Savini is making is not there right now in most cases. So on that note, so I'm very excited to welcome Marco, who has joined us today from Italy. Good morning and welcome, Marco, and look forward to hear from you, your background, and of course, how Savini, is as a brand, and what you're looking for.
Thank you for this introduction, Venice, and thank you for inviting me in this great opportunity for me and for our group. And thank you for all of you that you are attending to this webinar. Well, let me introduce me. I'm Marco Tridente. I'm the managing director of the group. We are a family business where there is a family that owns the group. And before talking about Savini, that is one of the most historical restaurants in Milan, and for who of the attendant that knows, Milan is under the galleries, so one of the most beautiful places in the world. Let me introduce the group, because we, as a group, we operate in 3 different business units. One is our core businesses is the restaurant, where we are where we have 2 different brands, Savini and 𝐻𝐚𝐫𝐭. Savini is a high-end brand and 𝐻𝐚𝐫𝐭 is a casual dining, let me say. Then we have an hospitality business line where we have a boutique hotel in Milan, Matilde. And finally, one of the key of our success is the 3rd business line, that is we are in the market of production of semi-finished goods. So a few years ago, we decided to centralize in one main kitchen all the preparation for our restaurants. So we built a factory just outside of Milan, where we have centralized the production of all of our restaurants, all of the main products of present in our menu of the restaurant. In this way, we achieved 2 great goals. The first goal is the standardization, and we are here to talk about our potential growing in international growing. And the key question is how to maintain the standardization of the products, and so how you can eat the same, let me say, spaghetti with tomato sauce in New Delhi or in Milan or in London. So in this way, we have centralized the production of the semi-finished good. And the second thing is to answer to the big challenge that every operator is facing in this moment, and that is unfortunately the increase of the rent cost and the increase of the labor cost. So in this way, we try to find space in our P&L in order to compensate all the percentage that in our P&L we are losing for the increasing of the labor cost of the rent cost, because with this model we are able to decrease the F&B cost and to decrease all the prep in the kitchen, and so reducing the number of the people, the number of the hours, and less people to manage, it means less cost. And finally, is important because I have to be honest with you, I'm not a good knowledge. I have not a huge knowledge about the Indian market, but in Europe, we have a huge lack of skills in this moment. Lack of skills in terms of people that want to cook, people that want to have a kitchen career. And with this method, we are able to achieve high-end, a high standard even if we don't have great, let me say, great chef in the kitchen. And this is very, very important in this moment in Italy and in Europe.
Sure.
Now, this is in very few words who we are. Then we can share the presentation to all the attendants, where there are some information about our group. If we focus on our restaurant side and the goal that we have in this moment, how I told you just a few minutes ago, we have two brands. One is Savini. Savini is one of the most historical and most elegant restaurants in Milan. Our commercial strategy in Milan. Yeah.
Can you share the presentation while you're talking so people can get an idea about the brand?
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. Yes, of
Can
course.
you do it, or you want me to do it? Can you do it?
If you can do it, it's better, because unfortunately.
Yeah, I think I can do it. Yes.
Thank you, because I have to do with the iPhone.
Okay. I hope you can see this.
Yeah. So in the first part of the presentation, you can see the business model that I have introduced to you now. So this is our international presence, and in the following 4 or 5 slides, you can see our divisions and our business model. Yes, you can go ahead, Venus. And talking about Savini, this is our factory. So this is our factory when we have one product, one point of sales, that is one granaio in front of the factory, and behind the granaio we have our factory where we produce more than 400 products. All the products are frozen, so our shelf life is the shelf life of our products are between 12 and 18 months, and everything is monoportion. So in this way we have zero wastage, because you can sell exactly, you can defrost exactly what we have sold, and with the frozen freezing the products, we are able to don't use any conservative or any preservatives. This is very, very important for the quality of the products. And of course, this business model is based also on the legislation of each country that we would like to introduce, because of course, if there is something that we cannot introduce in India because there is maybe a legislation, we have to adapt the menu at the market, like is normal, because we really think that when we would like to open in a new country, in the new market, is important to have a combination of, is important to maintain the made in Italy soul, because for us, we are Italian, and it's important to transfer this made in Italy soul, let me say. But on the other side, it's important to adapt the menu at the market in order to have success. Coming back to talk about Savini, our commercial strategy then is this is our formula. This is important to choose the right location, and based on the location, you can choose the commercial strategy. For example, in all the location that we have, both Savini and Granaio, we are in very traffic area. So our commercial strategy is to be open from 7 a.m., 8 a.m. until late, in order to take an advantage about all the moments of the day where people can consume food and beverage. So we are able to serve breakfast, we are able to serve lunch, dinner, and now we are opening even after dinner part, because if you if you look at the trend that we have in Europe in this moment, the industry of the restaurant industry is very, very close at the moment with the entertainment industry. So there are, let me say, like a marriage between the restaurant and after dinner. I'm not saying nightclub but something where a space where people can enjoy, can have an experience of a whole experience where he can of course dine, but on the other side he can also enjoy the time. It's not just enjoy the time, is not just have a great deal that is important, is a crucial, but even a great environment, great people to meet, and spend great time, let me say. Savini is the target of Savini, of course, is are people that have high potential to spend money, and also in Italy and in Europe, the component of the wine and the beverage sides is important. Again, is important to adapt to the local market, because, for example, if there are an area where the alcohol is prohibited, or maybe there is not a great consumption of alcohol, you have to adapt. We can adapt a little bit, the target. But everybody knows in the restaurant market that the beverage side is an important, is a key factor. Especially for the margin, we are used to see more than the revenue, the margin, like every business in the world. And the quality of the food, of course, is we have a very, very important and strong control of the raw material, especially for what is coming from our factory. And what we have in mind is to find the right location in the biggest city of the area, where we know that there are, like Venus says, a great growth of the F&B consumption, and I think also a great growth of Italian F&B consumption, where Italy has a great heritage about the food. But if I have to be honest with you guys, we have a lot of Italian sounding around the world, where you can eat Italian and then it's not a real Italian. This is not because maybe it's worse, but it's important to maintain the real soul. This slide is perfect to present our commercial strategy. Now we are open from breakfast, lunch. We can serve ice cream as well, aperitif, dinner. So all the part of the day where people can consume food, beverage, sweets, we are present. We are open every day, all the year. We don't close because in our location at the moment is a traffic location, is a touristy location. So for us, it's very, very important to be open every day. Finally, well, on the side of Savini, we have even Granaio. Granaio is, as I don't want to go deep in Granaio, but Granaio is exactly the same features of Savini in terms of commercial strategy, in terms of what we can offer, in terms of Italian sounding, but with a different target. So it's a casual dining where you can eat with spending less money. You can have an informal space, but at the same time you can have the same experience about the Italian sounding and Italian environment. Of course, the target is different. The attention of the detail, let me say, is different. The attention of the guest satisfaction or the the waiter attention for every single details is different. Finally, our strategy for expand the brand, of course, is important to say that we are coming from the COVID, like everyone in the world, and for our group, the COVID was a very, very big challenge. But now it seems, and of course, everybody would like to achieve our their goals. Now we are ready to restart our development strategy that for 3 years we have to put on the side and just to survive. Honestly, now it's time to start. We are looking for someone that can trust in this project, that can trust on our brands, and someone that can help us to bring in a different area of the world the brand. Like Venus has said just a few minutes ago, the brand, these two brands, and especially Savini, can be adapted to many places in your city. We are talking about malls, for example. Of course, has to be malls with a proper target, but has to be in a central in a downtown of your city that I know that are growing a lot, and so there is a great, I think that there is a great potential to bring. You see now, you can see the quality of our dishes in this slide. You can see the quality of the environment. You can see all the history that we have in this place. We are talking about a restaurant of more than 153 years, 55 years. Here used to come to eat the great singer, the greatest singer in the world, like Pavarotti, Maria Callas. So we are talking about the GOAT of of the music. So we have a lot of history, and we would like to open this history to the world. I would like just to say the last things. When I met Franchise India a few months ago, and they proposed me India like a place to be. I have to be honest with you. I was not so I have not deep knowledge about your country, but studying and starting to study the percentage of growing, the history, and the features of the key factor that you have now in this moment. I think that India can be an area where can be a huge growing of our group and our products, because it's not just Savini. That is Savini, of course, is something that can be in some area, but then and this is the reason why we have 𝐻𝐸𝐻 as well. Because for each Savini in, let me say, in New Delhi, then you can have 3, 4, 5 𝐻𝐸𝐻 in the same place, in the same area. And in this way, both the partner and the company and the franchisor can have a huge synergy, can have a huge synergies in terms of products, in terms of management, in terms of many things, and so achieve the goal that both the franchisor and the franchisees would like to achieve. I try to give in a few minutes the most important topics of our group and of our brands. But I am more than happy to reply now or in the following days all the question that you have.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Marco. That was very well said and presented. What I want to add is, Marco, when I meet people, when I go to the shows or someone reaches out to me, a lot of time, I'm talking about especially business families and high net worth investors. They would want something which is destination in nature. They would want a brand, a concept, which is, let's say, there is nothing like that is available still, and where they can provide a platform to people from the community they belong to. So I think Savini as a concept is that destination concept. You open this in Mumbai, you open this in Delhi. The best and the best of the malls are going to talk to you, which sometimes is very hard, right? Because if you go to the number one mall in the country or in your city, you have to have a proposition which they currently don't have. So I think bringing in a top tier Italian restaurant with more than 150 years history is going to open doors for you. It is going to take care of your positioning in the community or in the city or wherever you're from. And I think what Savini has done on the supply chain side is tremendous, which means that, when people go to Milano and then they have, let's say, a bowl of pasta in the restaurant in Milano is going to be same when they actually eat it here in Mumbai, for example, or Delhi, for example. So I think that is, yes, we would have the duty structure in India, but again, we are going to be a fine dining destination. And just to add on what you said, Marco, alcohol is going to be very important part of the restaurant, just like your other locations. I think a restaurant has to have an alcohol license, best wines, best alcohols, cocktails, because it doubles or sometimes triples your ticket size. People don't mind having an expensive wine when they kind of,
But this is for sure. This is for sure. This is for sure.
I also agree.
No, thank you for these words, because you honestly, you have touched exactly the three of the most important keys of our success. First of all, the Savini concept. Yes, is I think, of course, is for me is our company, so it's easy for me to say this is a great concept. But this is true because it's exactly, I think that abroad, especially abroad, but even in Italy, is exactly a place where you can create a community. You can go to Savini to meet your business partner, to meet your family, to meet your friends. It can be a community where you can spend your time. You can have a great moment with your relation. Let me say. The second thing is the wine, of course. Italian wines, and for us is a key part of our P&L. So we have a big canteen in Savini, and the wine is one of the most important parts of our revenue stream. And finally, yes, the Savini, let me say, Savini formula, so the business model that we have introduced, is something that helps us a lot to achieve our goal. Of course, it's not possible in any country of the world to offer any products, but is a huge help, and is fundamental to maintain the quality of the products and the quality of the format across the world. So it is, let me say, even something that for each partner in each country of the world, they can trust the brand, because they know that they are using the same products that maybe someone is using in New York in the future, or using in Dubai in the next following month. So we can create a link between together. We can create a link between together.
Absolutely, Marco. And I generally don't, let's say, advise brands to import, but I think in case of Savini, we would have to, because as a fine dining restaurant brand, we want to bring the best of a menu and keep that authentic products and ingredients coming in from Italy. And I think it will make our kitchen much simpler. Like, we don't have to have such a massive kitchen, which takes like 25% of the real estate, which is very expensive. I think the most expensive part. So in India, labor is not going to be an issue for me. I think the biggest challenge would be, I think someone is asking, the real estate. So yeah, and we're going to get real estate.
Yeah, sorry, Venice, to interrupt you, but this is another great advantage, because if you build a restaurant thinking about this model, you can have less space destinated to the kitchen and to the back office, let me say, and more tables. More tables, it means more revenue, and so everybody is happy. This is one of the other challenges that we are facing in Europe as well, but I think across the world, because the rent is going up, all the rent is going up. But if you think about the cost per square meter that we have, for example, that Savini has and Louis Vuitton has, is exactly the same. The problem for the restaurant in this moment, that we have to have half of the square meter that we cost for us the same money destinated to a back office. A retail shop has just 10%, 7%, 12%. But we compete in the same area. So in this way, we can reduce the space for the kitchen as well. Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. And I think I see a lot of people on the Zoom meeting. So I think this will include people who are looking to acquire a destination brand, or our partners, our IFC. If you have a business family who's looking to acquire that one big brand and concept, which really retains or uplifts their positioning, I think Savini is that brand. And my colleague Nikita is going to share some summarization on the financials. But since this is, as you can imagine, this is going to be a fine dining opportunity. So I think the brand would be looking at you, that you have the ability to bring the best real estate available. That's very important. As Marco mentioned, all their restaurants are in high traffic location, and in terms of their turnover, they compete with brands like Louis Vuitton, but because again, we are in the business of customer turnover, right? And the way the brand is, it's not a very complicated business, but yes, you have to have the ability to bring in the best real estate. Also, have an understanding of the overall investment, and then otherwise, I think Savini and the team, they've put together a complete training and an overall franchise package where you will get all kinds of support. Menu is not a problem, because majority of the products are actually being shipped cold storage. So it actually solves a lot of your problems, because the challenge, which, and again, I'm a foodie, I love Italian food, is of that supply chain. Yes, it is going to increase your cost of food, cost of product, slightly, but again, I think being that one restaurant in the city at the best location, people are ready to pay that price. And of course, you somehow justify it in terms of turning your tables around quicker, your kitchen services quicker, and also your quality is maintained overall. You don't need to bring the best chefs from across the world. Everything is kind of done for you. You just have to assemble, and that training will be done by Savini, right, Marco?
Yeah, Venice. In few words, you have explained exactly all the advantages that you can have with this business model. And this is not means that we, as a franchisor, we don't support the franchisee, or we don't have the trading material. No, we have a lot of all these things, but this business model help a lot the franchisee to achieve their goal, that then they are our goal as well, because for us it's important not to have the growth of the brand. And please, Venus, share with all the attendants, given the group presentation, when they can read exactly all the benefits and all the advantages of the business model. And then I'm more than happy to organize face-to-face meeting or Zoom meeting.
I would do that. In fact, Nikita, if you can, there are some questions regarding financials. So my colleague Nikita is going to put up just quick ones. But again, remember, these are just outlines. The bigger discussion will happen once you and I think as someone who has the mandate from Marco to be able to get the brand to India. First, we would have a chat with you. If it makes sense, we'll put your profile together and present to Marco for evaluation. But Nikita is going to give you an outline of the cost, and then we can have a discussion and answer your questions. Nikita, put that up. And Rajat, yes, I think Khan Market would be the best place for, if you are able to get the real estate. I think that's my because it's so expensive there. But yes, places like Khan Market, Connaught Place would be ideal one for a brand like Savini. Yeah.
Thank you, Venus. So I'll quickly take you all through the broad financials. These would be more towards a ballpark assumption. The strict financials and everything, I think, would be done, as Venus has said, post the proper discussions through the channel. So if I just take you through the financials, the area required, we have actually kept it roughly around 400 to 600 square meters, which is roughly between 4,000 to 6,000 square feet. The franchise fee for the brand has been taken as roughly around 35 lakh rupees, which translates somewhere between 40 to 50,000 euros, plus a design and training cost, because an extensive training would be required by the brand, for which the part of the team would actually have to travel to Italy to actually take a thorough training from Savini. Plus the design for all the architectural and outlet, the restaurant design would actually come through the brand, which again is roughly around 40,000 euros. The fit out for the restaurant has been considered somewhere around 3 CR, which is roughly between 330 to 350,000 euros. The equipment cost in terms of your kitchen equipment have been considered at around 1 CR, which translates to around 100,000 euros. Licenses and all the other miscellaneous ancillary costs would be roughly between 50 to 60 lakh rupees, between 60,000 euros, which would include your alcohol licenses and all your business permits and the other costs. Inventory, in terms of your pre-opening inventory, which would be all the food stock that would come through the brand, plus the crockeries and every other thing, that is roughly around 15 to 20 lakh rupees, which translate to around 16,000 to 20,000 euros. So what we project for a single outlet is roughly between 5.5 to 6 CR, which is around 600,000 euros. Now, the person would also require the lease deposits and working capitals, which would be as actual. The APC, though the brand, if I tell you, the APCs are quite high for what the restaurant is operating in Italy. We have tried to be just conservative in our approach. So for that, the APC has been considered at around 5,500 to 6,000 rupees, which is roughly between 60 to 65 euros. The monthly expenses are as below. The royalties that the brand would take would be around 5%. Then would be your other expenses in terms of your HR, your marketing, and your operating expenses. What we have projecting currently is roughly around 11 CR as an yearly revenue for the first 2 years, and then a growth towards that. If we speak about our EBITDA, so roughly around 15 lakh rupees would be the monthly EBITDA. And what we are saying is the monthly EBITDA as in euros would be around 16 to 20,000 euros. The payback period, what we are projecting is well within 3 years. So we project that roughly around 2 to 2.5 years should be a period wherein the investor can get his money back. So this was the summary. I think the detailed version could be actually discussed post a convenient call.
Right, right. Thank you, Nikita. So this gives you, let's say, a broader purview on what we are looking for. Since it's a destination fine dining restaurant, the investment of about 800,000 US or so, I think, is something which is expected. But accordingly, you would have high turnover also. So payback is about 2.5 years. Again, any questions? I think there are some questions. Let me try and take them up while Marco is here. Marco, there's a question from Praveen, and I think if they're saying that how do we plan to compete in the industry when the fine dining restaurants are talking about freshly prepared dough and fresh pasta, whereas the frozen ones from Savini?
Sorry, can you repeat how to combine the fine dining with the frozen?
Yeah, they're saying that fine dining people today are eating fresh. We are serving.
Well, this is one of the biggest, can I say, mistake in our industry. People think that frozen food is not a quality food, and this is for sure what we have to face in the market, because this is what people think in not over the world, but in the majority part of the world. But this is wrong. This is wrong because frozen food is freezing the food is the only methodology that prevent and that help to maintain the products at a very, very good quality without preservative, and all this kind of thing. Of course, if you freeze a bad raw material, you will have a bad final product. This is for sure. But if you use the best raw material, if you have the right process, and if you have the right process of reactivation in the point of sales, you will get a quality that you cannot imagine. And another thing is we have to manage the legislation in all the country, but you are not obliged to say that everything is frozen or this is frozen. For example, in Italy, we have a legislation where we have to underline in some way that this product is frozen or this product is frozen. But now people is growing even their mentality in term of oh, this is good. I don't care if it's frozen or not. This is good. And when they tried the first time the Savini products, I can tell you they will come back, because the quality of the food is not depending about how you freeze or not, if you freeze or not, but how you freeze.
Yeah, sure.
If you use the right process and if you use the right raw material, you will get a great product.
I agree. And Italian food, just like Indian food, I think is rather, it has so many ingredients, how you make the sauces, and sometimes the difference of Italian tomatoes and Indian tomatoes makes or breaks that flavor, because Italian tomatoes has that flavor. So I actually believe, Savini being a top end brand and thinking about supply chain, thinking about, I think it's tremendous, because it can really help the brand to, be everywhere and supply from one source. And they don't have to compete with the quick service people, because they're not a quick service brand. Savini, especially, I know they have a other sort of cafe style brand, but Savini is going to be destination brands. I think Savini, if I have to think about Savini today, I think with available infrastructure we can open like 10 Savinis in India, and only 10. Because again, I'm talking about it's not about the opportunity, it's about the locations where we can actually open. So we are looking for people who would be part of that plan. You can open one, you can open multiple restaurants. It all depends upon if kind of the brand gets, through to you, and of course you get through to the brand. And our job at Franglobal would be to really connect both of you in a meaningful fashion, and try and build a relationship between you two, which can go on for not 2-3 years, but 2 decades. So because again, a brand like Savini, it's not going to go out of business. Yes, pandemic happens once in every 100 years, but otherwise, hopefully, correct, right? I think I should add that word, Marco. But they have been in the business for 150 years and more. So yes, I like that fact. And in India, Italian food is very pervasive. We kind of eat all kinds of Italian food. There are really good Italian restaurants, especially in some like big cities. But there's always a need for more, especially coming from a legacy like Savini. So yes, let's figure this out, and let us know. This was great. Marco, first of all, thank you so much. You were here and you kind of shared. I think it gives better sense to me, to our teams, and of course to people who are watching or will watch this later. We will, share the deck with people who kind of reach out to us, and then, come back to you if we are able to engage in some meaningful conversations.
Yeah, many thanks. If you wanted to share even the Savini concept presentation that we have as well with someone that is interested, you can share as well, where there are more and more details about Savini and the concept. And finally, let me say that what we are looking for, like you said, is someone that wants to grow with us, with our brand in the long term partnership. We are not looking for someone that, okay, we can have the initial fees, a few years of royalties, and that's it. This is not our goal. This is not our strategy. We want to grow in a long term with a long-term strategy. And this is very important for us. So thank you to you for inviting me, and thank you to everybody has attended to this webinar.
Thank you so much, Marco. Again, very well said. And Nikita, thanks to you as well. I know you were busy, but you kind of made it. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. And it was great to host today's session. I will put in my number, but I think my colleague Neha must have put our hotline number, where if you give a call to that number, you will reach out to us. Again, good luck in your journey to acquire a great franchise. If you are our partner, again, thank you so much for your time. And if we at Franglobal, if we can help you to engage with an investor for Savini or some other international master franchise, reach out to us. Thanks again, and back to you, Neha.
Thank you, Venus. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Nikita, for joining us today. What a wonderful brand it is. And the best part with this brand is that it has a global presence. It's coming from out. And we do have so many investors out there in India who look for the international brands, especially in, food, in F&B, in restaurant. And this brand is a legacy of 150 plus years, which is a wonderful thing, which can help our people to work on the brand. So it's a lovely concept altogether. So thank you everyone for joining us today and sharing this brand details. So tomorrow we are coming up with our new brand with the name of TT Garments. It's India's leading family-owned retail brand. We know what TT is. We have heard it since our childhood because this brand is there in the market from so many years altogether. It is there in 65 plus countries with 25,000 plus multi-brand outlets. They have 100 plus clothing varieties altogether. I have shared the link in our chat window so that you can click on that link and you can register yourself to join our tomorrow's business opportunity over chai webinar. So just click on that link and register yourself to join us tomorrow also. Thank you everyone for joining us. Please join us every day to know more about the brands. Every day we are coming at 12 with a new brand, and tomorrow we are coming with TT Bazaars. Thanks everyone who have joined us today. Have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.